Big Balls Bob. Not to be confused with Tiny Balls Todd.
I do have a body. It's very fantastic. More of a temple, really, than a body.
I can't tell if he's doing a bit or not.
I'm glad you brought that point up because
Todd's a pussy.
It's right next to Todd's OnlyFans.
It's on the internet.
Yeah, Todd's not dumb. I tried to get in a high honors English class once, and they called my parents and were like, hey, just tell him he can't do it. It shows. It really shows. I'm a dumbass, and I'm sorry.
The first time you've been let out of mom's basement, right?
Oh, no, I'm still in mom's basement, actually.
I hate you guys so much.
I'm going to throw these two guys into the screen so that if I die, they can carry on the legacy of crap that is this show.
Welcome in, Green Bay Packer fans. It's another wonderful Wednesday night, which means it's time for another edition of Lombardi's Bar here on Game On Wisconsin's YouTube channel. If you have not done so already, take a moment right now to go to the YouTube page, click subscribe so you get notified every time that we go live here on the channel. We've got shows practically every night throughout the season. We know that you're our favorite, but there's other ones that you can also enjoy throughout the year. Get notified every time we go live. Follow us on Twitter at Lombardi's Bar, at Game On Wisconsin. Follow all of our shenanigans over there. And guys, it's finally time to start talking about the actual Green Bay Packers, not the ones from training camp that were playing all the practices, messing around, cosplaying. It's real Packer time. We got 53 guys. As Coach Lou said in Major League, this is my kind of team. This is my kind of team. Let's bring in Todd. Let's bring in Jimmy to talk about it all. Todd, Jimmy, how are you doing? How excited are you for the 2022 Green Bay Packers? Finally here. We finally know who they are.
I was really excited until you just referred to training camp and the preseason as cosplay football.
Some of the players were and I'm not trying to take look.
You love Danny Etling. He was cosplay.
I am the king of the Danny Etling hive. You all know this. However, it
was just cosplay, I guess.
I was trying to find a way to just more colorfully describe preseason football.
Hey, Uncle Bob's here.
Uncle Bob,
stay dry.
Good to see you, buddy.
Time to dry out, brother.
We have an absolutely jam-packed show for you tonight. Obviously, we have tons to talk about with the 53-man roster finally being released or cut down, whatever. We have the 53-man roster to discuss and talk about. We also have longtime friend of the show, one Mr. Kenny Clark, coming up later on in the show. What is this, the fifth time? Did we do a head count? How many times Kenny's been on with us now? This 5?
I think this was 5. He's definitely earned the certificate for most visits.
He's beaten Joe Thomas now at this point, right?
Yep. Yeah,
he's trumped Joe Thomas's. It's the ongoing feud between the future Hall of Famers, Joe Thomas and Kenny Clark.
Yeah, the first two people that felt the Lombardi's Bar bump.
That's right.
Really boost their careers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but before we get into all of that, something even cooler, I think, to have on a brand new. I always love bringing a brand new friend of the show. Welcome them into the fold, pulling up the bar stool and bringing them in. And this one, I was really excited to have her on because I am.
Uncle Bob.
Thank you, Bob. I'm a huge radio nerd. It was what I did in college. It's what I did out of college. I left it because it doesn't make me enough money. But I always am glad to see someone grinding and making it work. And this woman is for sure making it work. She is the very first woman to join the Packers Radio Broadcast Network. It's Shanna Quinn. Shanna, how are you doing? Welcome into Lombardi's Bar.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I had to laugh about your radio comment because that's what most of us say, right? We always have like second, third, fourth side hustles to make our actual salaries work. So I felt that in my bones when you said it.
I always told people, like every time I saw him, like I'm living the dream. Just wish the dream paid a little bit more. It's all side hustle.
Yeah, they always think it's more glamorous than it is, right? Like when I started, I was doing promotions, production, I was on the air making $7.25 an hour, coming to work with a smile on my face. And then on the side, I also ran liquor and beer promotions where I brought like girls into bars to give out free stuff, right? I felt like a madam. Come on, ladies, make me money. And
Light up.
Yeah, come on, make mama some money. And I would just sit at the bar and like do recaps on my laptop, drinking a Miller Lite on the side. And that's how I afforded to work in radio. And here we are today. So I guess it all paid off.
Well, if you need another side job, you can always work at the bar if you need to. We'll bring up another school for you. We don't pay anything, but it's a great time.
Perfect. I like good times pay my bills. So that's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, the first question I want to ask you, because it's the one that I am most interested in with the radio background, how and what got you started in radio? Where did that all begin?
I went to college at Buffalo State College. Go Bengals. You've never heard of them, and that's okay. I went to school there for psychology, and I took Psych 101, and I was like, this is terrible. I don't want to do this. So I went to my counselor there, my guidance counselor, and it's like, I can't do this. She was like, well, what do you like to do? I'm like, well, I like to talk to people. Like that's, I want to help people. I want to talk to people. And she was like, let's get you into communication. So I originally went for TV. And then I figured out you'd have to get ready for work every day. And I said, I don't think so. That's not the life I want. And I actually I was in college, went to a nightclub, and I got a job just working at a bar. And the DJ there was the big morning show guy in Buffalo. And I was like, how do I get into this? Like how? And he was like, come in and shadow me one day. So I went in, met his co-host. We hit it off. They offered me an internship. So I would work at the bar till, 4 a.m, drive to the radio station to do like morning show. And so that's how I got my start. I mean, it really, I'm sure you guys know, you just say yes to everything. You say yes to all the opportunities that are given to you. And eventually you just hope it works out. And it did.
That's awesome.
I love that.
I feel like every radio person, no one has that straight way of getting in there, right? Like it's always some kind of weird story like that, where you met someone, you were there at the right time, you said yes to the right opportunity. And I think that that's kind of the big thing that people need to understand if they do want to get into the broadcasting business is, it's not an easy path, and you're probably not going to have the same path as everyone else.
Well, I think the thing to point out, because I did go to school for that's what I did. I did radio for 5 years in college, and I have the student loan debt to prove it. And I got like my first job out and like making nothing. And it's like, it's that there's no one path to do it.
Yes.
There's no, like, you have to go to school, or you have to do this, or you have to go here. And radio is one of those beautiful things where if you can just make it work, there's opportunities for you to grind it out. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like take the smallest things. I remember starting out and being a board op for one of our DJs that would do like club gigs. All I had to do was just push the pot up, and he'd be like, Kiss 98.5, I'm at this club. And I remember shaking, being like, oh my God, what if I make it, what if I put the pot too hot and he's too hot going over the air, to then get to running your own radio shows. So it's just wild how it all works out.
At least you realized it in college. It took me 8 years of teaching to realize, hey, you know what? Teaching's not fun. So.
Speaking of another job, though, I mean, that you don't get paid enough for what you do, the amazing things that you do as a teacher, you're a glutton for punishment, huh?
Other teachers did amazing things for sure. I was going to leave it at that.
There were some people that actually touched people's lives and changed futures.
Hey, I show kids what they don't want in teachers. You're welcome.
Jimmy and teaching had a mutual split.
Yeah, we're like, you know what, guys?
The profession as a whole was just like, hey, guy, maybe not. So how did you then end up in Wisconsin and working with the Packers? What was that conversation kind of like?
So I'm originally from Buffalo. I left there to work in Albany. I did mornings for a hot AC station. So like things you'd listen to like at your office, Bon Jovi, Maroon 5, Kelly Clarkson. We played all that. And I ended up doing a show in Milwaukee for the country station here, FM 106. And it was just kind of a fill-in opportunity for me. And then it grew into something that was like, hey, we think you're a good fit. Do you want this job full time? And it was a step up in my career because it's a bigger market. Milwaukee's a higher up market. You know, New York City, Chicago, LA, those are like your top 3. Albany, New York, believe it or not, is not in the top 3.
I've heard it's a great time. I've heard that city just has amazing nightlife.
Sure. So I ended up leaving Albany to come here for the opportunity. And then a few years ago, one of our stations flipped to 97.3 The Game. And this past year, 97.3 The Game took over as the Packers flagship station. And this opportunity came up. I tried out for it, submitted my tape. You know, I don't know what the kids call it these days. I submitted my MP3 and I got it. So I'm super excited about it. And I'm usually on this station anyways with my friends Drew and KB with their show during the week. I'll like pop in and tell silly stories and women's perspective and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of an easy transition to go from that to doing the Packers radio network. So here we are.
That's so cool. Well, before I go into my question, Dan or Todd mentioned a thing called Lombardi's Bar Bump, which when people come onto the show, when Kenny Clark came on, he got his big contract a few days later. Joe Thomas came on. That made him an NFL Hall of Famer. Wow. So honestly, I think now that you're going to be on here, you'll most likely be on the Amazon team next year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe honestly by week 2
to the top.
Wow. I mean, I'll make sure that I thank all 3 of you in my acceptance speech for whatever it is that comes my way. Can we just like send all the vibes that I become best friends with, like maybe Aaron Andrews or Kay Adams? Can we send those vibes out there?
Yep.
Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. I apprepappreciate that.
You're the first person to request what their Lombardi's Bar Bump will actually be.
Listen, if you don't ask for things in life, you won't
never
get them.
Yeah,
exactly.
manifest
Put it out into the universe. Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
So what's it been like working with Wayne Rock and the rest of the team over there? Has it been everything you thought it was going to be? Has there been some surprises?
Wayne, I met because he was here at the station. So I'm, disclaimer, I'm here in Milwaukee during the Packer broadcasts. And, of course, they're at Lambeau or whatever visiting team they're at. So I don't actually get to see them. But I was so excited because last week, Wayne went to throw it to me for my break post game. So I'm like, cool, right? So Wayne's like, and next we check in with Shannon with our post game update. And I'm like, oh, it's Shannon. I was like so sad about it. But Wayne is such a nice guy. He's very, very kind. He's exactly what you would think he is. He is just a very, very sweet, kind man. And he's one of those people when you have a conversation with him, and it wasn't a long conversation, but he makes it seem like he's actually listening to you, and it's like, that's pretty cool that it's Wayne Larrivee in front of you and is a cool guy. So far it's been great.
Sweet.
I'm very happy to hear that because Wayne Larrivee, I'm with you. Wayne Larrivee is like my Mr. Rogers. I love that guy.
He is like that's the perfect way to describe him. He's very sweet and he's soft spoken. Oh, just very kind. He gives off that's a perfect way to describe him. Yeah.
Yeah. Does he wear sweaters?
When I saw him, he had a polo on. He had a green polo on.
Well, bring him a sweater next time. Just next time you meet him, like, hey,
are you cold, buddy? I got you a sweater. I got you some suspenders. You're gonna look great.
Bring some puppets and start doing a little show behind them too.
Totally non-creepy way.
Yeah, no, not weird at all. I do that a lot to people.
Shanna, one thing that I definitely want to ask you, because like I said, I started in the radio industry in freshman year of college. And so you're in radio groups, you see, your other friends in different media organizations growing and developing. And, the thing that that was always painfully obvious because I only did sports radio was there were no women. It's a incredibly male dominated field. And, if you follow anything around like the radio landscape nowadays, you'll see a lot of stories about even today, like women struggling to break into the sports world. And even when they get in, it's incredibly difficult. And there's plenty of horror stories. What did it mean for you to be someone going through, making their way through the industry and to kind of have a sort of trailblaze moment like this, to be the first woman part of the Packers radio network?
Well, first of all, I was shocked to hear that it took 90 years for it to happen. Because you're right, it just doesn't really happen that often. You see a woman on the sidelines, you're like, oh, that's cool. Okay, great. We're getting somewhere, right? It meant a lot because I'm someone that I was raised on football. As we've talked about, I'm from Buffalo. It's not my dad who got me into football. It's not my uncle, my grandfather. No, it was my G-Ma. She's the best. She has had season tickets for the Bills for years, 25 years, I want to say, until my mom finally made her give it up. She's like, you're getting too old. Bills Mafia is too much for you, Shirley. So, and my G-Ma and my mom had the season tickets together. So to be able to tell them about this was probably the greatest moment that I could have had, to be like, we did it. Like, we did it. We're representing. So that was very, very cool. And like you said, I mean, we are seeing it more and more. I got to give a shout out to my girl, Bonnie Olson. She was the first female to be the in-game announcer at Milwaukee Bucks game. So like that was amazing. And she's amazing. She's in Madison doing her thing. She's an announcer out there. And it's just great to see. And I'm really, really excited and happy to be a part of it. And, obviously women like football. It's not just a male thing, so it's nice. I think it would be nice for women to hear someone on the radio that represents for them. And hopefully I can represent them well.
Real quick question. Did Shirley get to jump through a table before she started the games?
She invented the table smash.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, no one talks about the unsung hero, Shirley Bowden, who created it. But no, she did not. But yeah, she's awesome. She loves the Bills. She loves the Yankees. Like, she is diehard for sure. But I was also raised with the Packers being our NFC team because of her. She kind of like instilled that in us. So even when I was in Buffalo, we were cheering for the Packers. And I know people say like, that's not a thing, having an AFC and an NFC team, but it is.
It's a thing.
Well, I mean, that right there from Tim, is she a Bills fan or Packer fan or both? It's both, Tim.
Yes. And, everyone's asking because I like to call it the blue collar Super Bowl, when the Bills and the Packers play each other in Buffalo. Like, this is what we're all waiting for, right? Like, this is just going to be a very exciting, fun game. I think it's what America needs. No more Tom Brady. We're over you. Sorry, Dallas. You're not America's team. The Bills and the Packers are America's teams. Let's just do it. Let's get the Super Bowl. And so many people have asked me, they're like, what are you going to do if they go to the Super Bowl? Because that's a very high probability, right? And I said, I'm like, I'll be happy either way, but I do have a number one.
You don't have to tell us unless it's
I will not tell you. I will not tell you.
It's okay. You need that, yeah.
All right. So obviously we're talking, you're a lifelong Buffalo fan. You're covering the Packers. Have you figured out your system to be able to watch the Bills game while you're doing the Packer game? Is there something you have set up now so you can still keep track of that?
So I have to do both. So my job is halftime updates, where it's one segment is around the league. So that's my excuse to watch the Bills. And then the other segment is strictly Packers highlights. So for me, I haven't had that. I haven't had that conflict yet with both of them. And on the plus side, with the Bills opening up the season on Thursday night, I can enjoy that game and then work the following Sunday. Clearly, it's not going to happen all the time, but I'm basically getting paid to watch football, so I can't really complain that much about it, Could be worse gigs out there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the Around the League is just going to be an entire segment of what's happening in the Bills game.
Yeah.
Oh, I do it too. So I've been like, oh, and don't forget, tomorrow's preseason games, like anyone cares, is going to be XYZ, and I would like name them, be like, I'm just naming Lions at Chargers, whatever. And the Buffalo Bills are playing. It's obnoxious. It's obnoxious how loud I get when I'm mentioning them.
You have to get one of those jerseys that's like half Bills, half Packers.
Yeah. That's what
I'm not allowed to get jerseys. Every time I get a jersey, they either get hurt or they get traded. That is why I don't have a Micah Hyde jersey, because we keep Micah Hyde safe at all costs.
Well, if you notice behind me,
Jimmy,
but all of them aren't on the team anymore. So it's literally. Yeah, that was, I'm not gonna lie to you, that was a knockoff I got on like the corner, so I don't count that as a real one. But all like the real ones where I'm like, I'm gonna spend money on this. They're gone the next year.
Yep.
Christmas 2015 or 2016, I got a Packer Pro Shop gift card and I bought a Micah Hyde jersey. And I'm like, this is great. 2 months later, Ted Thompson, you son of a, let him go.
R.I.P.
We love Micah Hyde.
R.I.P.
That's true, Matt. We
Yes,
love Micah
Micah
Hyde.
Hyde.
He's the best.
Micah Hyde is the GOAT.
Mhm.
Yes. So Shanna, thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciate you sticking around with us and talking with us. And like you said, lowering your expectations for what you expected on the show. We really, really appreciate you coming down and talking with us. Do you want to let people know where they can find you, like out on the socials and everything, and anything else you kind of want to promote and let people know about?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Second, just a quick backstory. 2 of you were messaging me on Twitter about this interview, and I was talking to 2 of you.
Yeah, we found that out.
Yeah, I was like, Jimmy, I told Jimmy I was reaching out.
I don't read half the things you guys tell me. I'm sorry.
You confirmed
this is
it.
true.
You responded back to me. Great.
It was very funny. I just wanted to give that. And I'm messaging both of you, and I'm just like, yeah, sure, this is cool. And then you're like, you're already talking to one of my co-hosts. I'm like, cool, great.
Yeah.
So I am on Twitter because that's how they found me. Radio Shan Quinn. Those are my names on Twitter, Instagram, and attempting TikTok.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah. We'd say all the time how we're going to start a TikTok. We started one, just
You
0
should.
posts in the last like 2 months.
Yeah, you should. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Jimmy to do more dances, but
Hey,
Perfect.
I got to get
You
these
can-
glutes better.
You can hear on the Packers Radio Network. Thank God for NFL Plus, because now I can listen to it out here in Michigan finally.
Oh, cool.
Shanna, thank you again so much for taking the time. Good luck with the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. We
Thank
really
you, guys. I
appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye.
one.
thanks, Shanna.
Absolutely great conversation. Loved having her on. I hope everyone else enjoyed it. And like I said, listen to her on the Packers Radio Network. She does an amazing job. I think we just jump right into the Kenny Clark now, right? We've got, I know we've got a ton of people watching. Go ahead.
Before
Todd.
we do, let's get Lambo Labo some karma heading his way for the draft. Whatever you do, don't ask Jimmy for advice.
Okay,
He
fuck
only
off.
drafts
I was
terrible teams.
No, you asshole. My team was so good, and I was so excited to send it to you, and you shit on every single player I picked.
Not every
except for
single
2.
one.
Except for 2.
3.
Who?
JT,
Jonathan Taylor.
Russell Wilson, and AJ Brown.
Oh yeah, okay. So sorry.
Which, if you want me to, I mean, Jalen Hurts throwing to your number 1 receiver, kind of iffy. But if you want to hear us debate this more, check out this week's episode of On Brand and Off Topic.
Oh yeah, we did that there too.
Where I had to make Jimmy stop crying about it there as well. So, yeah, we'll just jump in. Unfortunately, Dan wasn't able to join us yesterday. Detroit's Power Grid.
I blame Kid Rock.
Took a page out of the Texas Power Grid's book and just went down. So it was just Jimmy and I. Unfortunately, fortunately, I don't
Probably
know.
fortunately.
So here's Kenny. Let's hope this works. Welcome everybody. Jimmy and Todd here. Unfortunately, Dan couldn't join us for this part. Detroit apparently lost power. No idea when they'll get that back. But we are joined, more importantly, by Kenny Clark. Again, resetting the record for most appearances on Lombardi's Bar. Kenny, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I was a little upset with you. I'm not gonna lie, because you were supposed to be in Neilsville, and we were gonna have a Kenny Clark certificate for being the most frequent guest on Lombardi's Bar, but we'll just mail it to you. We won't hand it to you in person. Probably better for you, anyways.
Oh yeah, we got to get that. We got to get that set up. I'll take that.
So how was the offseason, Kenny? Any highlights for you?
I mean, none really, man. I mean, my daughter turned 1, and I'm just enjoying being a dad. Enjoying. I mean, I had a great off season. Lost some weight. Lost some body fat. So I look a little like too skinny, but it's been a good off season for me. I've been enjoying it. Been enjoying just the process of getting back to camp and getting into the season, and it's been cool. It's been real cool. It's been fun.
All right. So you mentioned like you're coming in a little bit slimmer. Have you seen your picture on Madden?
Yes. Yeah.
Because
They got all the linemen looking fat though on Madden. They got
Look, we brought up the picture for you because I had you on my team. I was
Okay.
like, what the heck is going on? That's not Kenny Clark.
Yeah, that don't look like me at all.
Do you know who we need to contact about this disrespect and get that taken care of?
I don't know. That the swag is messed up too. They got the spat on there. They got me my calves looking fat.
Those aren't even cankles. I don't know what to call them.
Yeah, they got me looking nasty.
Yeah, we'll get a hold of somebody. We'll see what we can do about getting that redone because that's just disrespectful all around.
Yeah, that's disrespectful, man. They got me looking sick.
All right. You mentioned you're obviously enjoying being a dad this offseason. Now that your daughter's a little bit older, were you able to like bring her on the field, let her run around a little bit while you guys were either before or after practice?
Yeah. So when she came for for a couple practices during camp, and she got a chance to like come out on the field and run around. Family night, they got a chance to come out and watch the fireworks, and all that kind of stuff. So her and all my niece and nephew, they all came out. So they've been enjoying it. I mean, I don't think she really know like everything that's going on, and that she in Green Bay right now. But she's loving it. She's been doing a lot of moving around though. She's trying to adjust to. She just came back from Cali a week ago, and she's trying to adjust to Green Bay. I mean to Central Time now. So she's struggling right now with that.
That's a big jump.
Yeah, she's struggling.
Are you teaching her at all to like tackle Aaron Jones' son, just so get her some practice tackling, him some practice moving around?
Nah, I ain't teach him that. He a little bit too advanced. Aaron Jones' son, he that's a big boy. He out there. He out there. He look like you can hand him off a ball right now. Yeah, he gonna be an athlete for sure.
Got those genes.
So we were talking a little bit before we started recording here. You're excited that football's back, just like we are. Are you a training camp guy, or is there such thing as a training camp guy? People that just really look forward to football starting back up and getting into camp, or are you mostly just let's get our bodies ready, but really we're just here for the regular season?
Man, honestly, I totally love the process. I am like a training camp guy. I think like it goes into like stages with everything. Like when we got like OTAs and like the off season training, like when I'm back in California doing my off season training, I think like in the beginning I'm real happy, very energized about it. And then the more it drag on, like probably like a week before we actually get a chance to go back to Green Bay for OTAs, I kind of get like man, I want to just get back and start playing football, start practicing against the guys. OTAs, like this is getting kind of old. I think like that's how it is right now. Like we're in camp, and then we're in training camp right now, and going through this process. And in the beginning, it's cool. You're doing your thing, getting better, and then the Saints came in, so that was fresh, and that's also keeping it fresh. And practicing against them was great. Then we have another week against each other, and then now we got this kind of like bye weekish kind of deal. And it's like I wish we had a game like this week, honestly, like just get started. But I think we get like what 3 or 4 days off starting on Thursday, and then Monday we get back to hitting it strong with the Vikings. But so I think like this is the week where it's like man, I wish we had a game this week. You know, I really wish I can, you know, we could start this week. But I'm definitely like a training camp kind of guy. I love the process. I love the process of working out, getting your body ready and getting yourself into shape and to going to the camp, and then just, you know, seeing the progression of you know, training camp and your training camp progression, and then going into the season. I love that part of the game.
How much are you looking forward to hitting Kirk Cousins in a couple of weeks?
Man, I'm looking forward to it. I hope I can hit him, man. I hope I can. Shit, that's the goal.
Is he you mentioned before that he was your favorite quarterback to sack with Jared Goff and Justin Fields coming in. Did that change that, or is it still Kirk Cousins is your favorite one to sack?
Yeah, I'll probably say Kurt. Man, when I sacked Tom Brady, that was cool too. You know, just I don't know. I want to sack like all the legendary quarterbacks, like all the best quarterbacks. So that's one of my goals, is try to get all like the greats, man. I want to sack all the greats.
You gonna hit Rodgers in practice?
Nah. I hit Rodgers in practice. Y'all won't see me. I'll be on the damn Seahawks somewhere or something.
It is. I mean, it's tough though that if you want to, you know, sack all the good quarterbacks, you got to go out of the division for that. I mean, that's just tough. You know, you don't get 2 shots a year at them.
Yeah, that is tough, but yeah, I ain't hitting our quarterback. But.
Have you yelled at Kirk Cousins after you sacked him? Do you like that, or is that kind of played out now, or is that still a thing people do?
2 years ago, that was still like a thing. Like, you like that. Now it's more the gritty. You know what I'm saying? You get a sack, you hit the gritty. You know what I'm saying? Now that's the thing.
How's your gritty ready?
Nah, I ain't hitting no gritty. That ain't me.
You got a couple weeks to work on it, man.
All right, so a lot of the talk since your career was like, we had to get Kenny Clark help on the defensive line. Obviously, you're incredible. Going into this year, Dean Lowry played out of his mind last year. I still think he's taking horse steroids. I could be wrong. TJ Slayton is a human Mack truck. Dron Reed has been doing really well in camp. You got Devontae Wyatt. Like, is this arguably the most talented defensive line you've been a part of since being in the league?
Yeah, 100%, man. It's been we got a lot of talent, and this has definitely been the most talented group I've been a part of since I've been in the league. We got just a good combination of guys that can do a lot of things. You know, you mentioned Dean, and Dean, I got so much respect for him, man, because first off, you know, we came in together, and just our chemistry together, the way we see the game, the way we talk. Sometimes we argue on the field like we two coaches out there. Like, honestly, like, we'll talk about game planning and fronts and you know, how he sees the run game versus how I see it. And it's always cool, like, to talk football to Dean. I love talking football with Dean. And you know, and to add on to that, like, he's just a force out there. He's one of the best 5 techs, like, big ends in the league. I truly believe that. And you can slide him in at the 3 tech, and he can do some really good things there. And then with Jay Reed, man, he's been a really good addition to us too, because Jay Reed also he understands football. He understands how me and Dean thinks. That's number one. And number 2, he just brings a different like pass rush ability, you know, at that 3 tech spot that we didn't have, you know, in the past when we were in base and all that kind of stuff. So I think his game complements my game very well, because he can penetrate. He can make plays. He can make something out of nothing. You know, he can be disruptive, and I think that really complements my game well. And then TJ, he's been doing a great job. He's been locked in and focused this whole offseason, this whole training camp, and I'm excited about what TJ can do. I mean, he's a strong guy. Sometimes he goes out there and he can look great, and then sometimes sometimes he can be a little inconsistent at times. But when he's on his stuff, man, TJ is a hard player to stop. He's a big dude, got long arms. He's hard to move in there, and then when you get him going forward and playing with a good get off with good hands, like he's like a immovable object in there. So like I'm excited about our whole defense line. D Wide, he's coming along. He's a guy that's eager to learn, always asking questions, always ready, and he's gonna bring. I think definitely early in his career, he's gonna bring a different type of pass rush to our defense. It's gonna take some time for him to keep on learning the run game and how we play our fundamentals and all that kind of stuff, just like it was for me. But I think he has definitely like right now at this moment, he definitely has the talent pass rush wise to contribute. So I'm excited about our team. I'm excited about our defensive line for sure.
Awesome. So we are for everybody that's watching this on Wednesday or later. We're actually recording this Tuesday evening. Today was the final cut down day. Congratulations on making the 53. I don't know that there was a whole lot of stress around that for you. Do you get notified that you made the team, or is it just like for you it's kind of obvious and no news is good news? Do they
Yeah,
notify?
it's like if you don't get the call, you good.
Okay.
I mean, but I don't take this for granted, man. I didn't see so many people like leave and or whether it was like getting traded or you never know. Like, you know what I'm saying? You never know what the situation is. You never know what the other team is offering. You never know. I mean, you just never know. So you can't never take stuff like this for granted. I remember I think it was my third year when Mike D got cut, and I never thought that was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take none of this for granted. I'm happy I'm here every single day.
Glad you brought that up. Really made me upset again. I'm a big Mike Daniels fan. I loved him.
So what's today like? I mean, does it feel different around the facilities on a day like today? I mean, just a little bit more tension in the air, guys just uncertain about stuff, or is it just kind of go in and do your business and hope for the best for everybody?
I mean, in the building today, I mean, everybody that was in the building today made the team, so they was ecstatic. Everybody in there was taking like a little sigh of relief. But I mean, I think the hardest part about it is that like since Coach LaFleur's been here, I think we've been a really like close team. Every year we get like closer and closer. So when guys get cut and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of tough on all of us because we build such a tight relationship. And it's not like a fake like team relationship. Like we just cool just because we teammates. Like everybody really hangs out with each other. Everybody really like talks to each other's families and our kids get to run around together and we really enjoy each other. And since Coach LaFleur's been here, it's just been growing and growing each and every year. No matter what like obstacles we ever had, like with COVID and all that kind of stuff, our team has always been like close. So I think that's the toughest part is just like understanding that those guys are going to be gone, and hopefully we get like some of those guys back for like practice wise, so they can still be on the team or whatever. But definitely like the guys that are going to be cut. We all had like tight relationships with those guys too, and just how our culture is with our team and how tight knit of a group we are. We definitely gonna miss those guys for sure.
So you brought up LaFleur and kind of the closeness of the team since he took over. The Ringer NFL just put out an article on LaFleur saying he hasn't been getting just about like why he isn't getting enough credit for the success he's had as being an NFL coach. And Mercedes Lewis mentioned in it, he's if LaFleur wasn't his coach, he'd be retired by now. Devondre Campbell said that like he gives you guys space and to kind of like be yourselves and doing your own thing more than he's experienced before, like being able to sleep at your house the night before games. He didn't experience that until he came to Green Bay. Have you felt that during his time of just like he kind of gives you guys space to be your own like individuals? And
Yeah, the level I think I can say about Coach LaFleur is like the level of trust that he has within us is like he has such a high level of trust within us. Like you don't want to let him down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Him allowing us to like go to sleep at our house before a game, like that's never, since I've been in the league or since I've, you know, any like level of football, like that's never a thing that you should do. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he trusts us to do it. It's not just like certain players, or it's not like, oh, it's only the leaders are doing this. Like he trusts like everybody but the rookies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when you got a coach that trusts in his players and trusts in the culture of our team, and he knows that we're gonna do the right thing, and he knows that we're gonna be prepared and all that kind of stuff. It makes you just want to just fight even harder for that coach. It makes you even want to work even harder. You know what I'm saying? And so you can keep his trust. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we talk about all the time as a team. You know, being able to communicate, being able to trust each other, being able to, you know, talk when situations get tough, stick together and all that kind of stuff through adversity. And, you know, since he's been here, like it's constantly always been that. And, you know, I got nothing but like respect for Coach, man. He's been doing a great job and building the team and building the culture that we have now. And I think he lets the the players just lead the team. And, you know, he gives us the message and for us to repeat to the guys, and we do a good job at just holding that standard. And when you got that level of trust between the players and the coach, you know, that's when you know good things can happen.
now he just has to be the damn coach of the year, because he should be.
Yeah, he should have been got that a couple
Yeah,
years ago.
for sure. All right, we'll wrap it up pretty quickly, but the big thing that we're doing at Lombardi's Bar this year, Todd, I'll let you share the name of the event that you created.
Yeah, so Jimmy's not good at reading. There's a lot of words here. So we've got the Lombardi's Bar Sackathon to benefit the Clark Family Dreams Do Come True Foundation this season. So we're going to throw out a Google Doc for anybody to jump on. We'll tweet it out once that goes live here later in the week. People can go in and pledge to donate any amount of money that they would like for every sack that Kenny Clark gets this season. So hopefully we can see a bit of money flowing towards your foundation there with that, Kenny. You know, if you want to take a couple of minutes and just talk about some of the work you guys do through the foundation and let the people know what they can help out with.
Yeah, so you know, with my foundation, man, we're doing all kinds of stuff as far as just you know, backpack giveaways, back to school giveaways, you know, turkey drives, you know, during Thanksgiving. You know, my father's incarcerated, so we work with a lot of incarcerated parents and a lot of kids that have parents incarcerated. So, you know, we got our hands in a lot of different things, and you know, anything, you know, is helpful, you know, for us. So we just trying to just help the world be a better place, help the kids, you know, help our community, and just make the world a better place.
Awesome. Yeah, I know you have Lombardi's Bar. Each of us are going to be pledging $20. A lot of other people from Game On Wisconsin as well. And I know the Twitter Packer family will be pumped up to be able to donate. But you have a prediction? How many times are we going to be donating this year, Kenny?
I'm not gonna give you a number, but it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot.
Smart. That's smart.
So I have to get a second job for this. Awesome.
For sure.
Awesome.
Lot,
well, Kenny, we appreciate your time. Always great having you jump on with us. And we look forward to finally getting into the regular season and watching you and the Packers out there for the season.
Oh yeah, man. Appreciate you guys.
If you want to come on later in the season, we'll mail that certificate out to you soon. You can put that prized possession on your wall.
For sure. Yeah, I'll be on later this season.
All right,
Awesome.
Perfect, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
you guys.
There we go. We did absolutely no prep behind the scene to get ready for the end of the interview, but
that's not the important part.
No, but honestly, like literally, I could listen to Kenny Clark talk about anything every single week. The guy is a fantastic person, amazing football player, and yeah, like let's make sure we highlight again. What are we calling it, Todd? We're calling it the Sackathon.
No, there's about 300 words in that. You're muted, you moron.
You're muted, boy.
Oh, you're so
Damn it.
stupid.
I double muted myself. The Lombardi's Bar Sackathon to benefit the Clark Family Dreams Do Come True Foundation.
I think shortened we'll call it.
I was going to try and make it a little wordy, but I decided to shorten it up a bit.
I like Sackathon. The Sackathon.
I was going to call it the Kenny Clark Sackathon, but
Okay, but we're gonna tweet. We're gonna tweet it out. Do you want to put it up in the chat here, Todd, so people can see it?
You have the link, Dan.
Yeah, you do.
I don't have it ready. I gotta get into my Google thing here now. All right. I'll get it up here in the chat. Let's get into buy a round real quick. Todd, who are you buying around for this week?
I am buying around for Goody. Love what he did with the 53, working his way through there, and everybody that they cut, nobody got claimed. They were able to get back. I would assume most of the guys they want on the practice squad.
Was
like Danny Etling.
Oh, now who's muted, idiot?
I'm chewing on mints. I didn't want you guys to hear it. You're welcome.
Real professional.
We're in the middle of a goddamn show.
I had him on during the interview. I was looking for a time to get him. Whatever. Anyways, were you guys surprised that the only person from the Packers that was claimed was not claimed, but he signed somewhere was Ty Summers?
Didn't even see that.
He's on the Jaguars.
No, I didn't see that either.
Yeah, only one. So,
incredible.
Just saying, he made a roster. Whatever.
On their roster or a practice squad?
Roster. You signed to the team.
Wow. Okay.
I think I might have made that last part up, but I just wanted to sound smart. I really don't know, but I think so.
Jimmy, who are you buying around for?
I'm going for Quay Walker. Literally no other reason except that I'm super excited to watch him play. I can't wait to see him and Campbell next to each other. I really think we're going to have a top 3 linebacker duo rivaling the Buccaneers. I think they really can. If Walker plays his potential, we saw what Devondre Campbell can do. Those two are going to be a force. And I think they're going to be obviously our defensive line is stacked, but that linebacking core really opens or allows our defense to do more of the stuff that Joe Barry likes to do. And hopefully we can stop the run like we've been complaining about for years.
Yeah, you mentioned the Bucs defense. That's what it reminds me of. That's what this defense reminds me of. A couple of years ago, that same defense. I'm excited for it. I'm buying around for Mason Crosby, the Silver Fox, surviving another season. Yes,
you thought he was going to get cut.
I did. I thought there was a better than not chance that they would move on from Mason Crosby. Yes, I did.
You heard it here first. Dan's pro keeping Danny Etling.
I
also pro
cutting
Mason
Ty
Crosby.
Summers.
Okay, so
pro keeping Ty Summers.
So Matt Pickett in the chat here compiled the 53-man roster master sheet, and I never done it before. I submitted mine, and I went out on a limb, and I kept Danny Etling, and I cut Mason Crosby. And I finished dead. I finished dead last in all of the 53-man predictions because of that.
I'm sorry. I just really love Todd's how that word for you, dipshit. Just nice mumbled under his breath.
Oh, that was out loud.
All right,
Dan,
pay the tab, Todd.
Can
Oh,
Dan
wait.
buy around?
I would love to buy
Yeah, you
around.
said Emma
Jimmy
bought
only
one for
wants to
Krasner.
rush the show along to hit the deadline here when other people are talking.
I would love to buy around for Packer legend Morgan Burnett,
Yes, sir.
who got a chance to retire. I don't know if I was the only person. Literally, I started to read the tweet that former Packer safety Morgan Burnett is signing, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, we're back to like Morgan Burnett is back. Like, is this going to happen?" And then it's 1-day contract to retire as a Packer. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's probably the smarter choice. But seriously, Morgan Burnett, for anyone that grew up a Packer fan over the last like decade or so, like I did, like a lot of us did, he's one of those names that I don't think we'll ever forget.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to run through pay the tab real quick? Okay.
Yeah,
Let's.
Jimmy, just try to keep it short this time.
Okay. I'll start off real quick because mine's easy. NFL top 100. 2 Packer players, and it's Devondre Campbell and Aaron Rodgers. That's it. Go bleep yourself. Move on. That's all the time I want to invest in them.
Rudy Ford, you're coming on the team for special teams. You have your highlights on the internet. Please fucking live up to it because we
Is
need
that
it.
the Jaguar?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
he's a person. He plays for the Jaguars.
He is a human being.
That's why I'm buying around for Goody. He signed a
Brian
fucking
Gutekunst.
Jaguar to play special teams.
He's
Good
like-
luck, punt returners.
It's like that scene in Air Bud where it's like the old coach like, there's no rule that says a Jaguar can't play football.
Yeah, show me where it says that. I'm going to go with defenders of their 53. Like you said, everybody's putting out a 53. It's fun. Go do your thing, whatever. The people that are getting mad or like just upset that the GM and the coach and the guys who are around these guys all day, every day, watching everything they do, make a different choice than a guy on his couch. And they're like, nope, they're idiots. They don't know what they're doing. Those people can pay the tab.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Good one. Okay. We are running close up on it because we crammed so much into the show. So let's jump into our bar bets for this week. And because we are leading up into the start of the season, we have no game next week. So I figured this was a good time to do some season prediction bar bets.
So do these count?
That's the
I
question.
say these count.
Okay.
All right.
I think
time to be
the
serious.
preseason is officially over. So this is the start of it. These are when they count. Producer Nick, keep track.
I'm about to write it down to help
Jim's
Nick out.
literally keeping up.
Yeah, you gotta let Nick know.
All right, over under Aaron Rodgers, 38 touchdown. We'll say 38 and a half. So is he going to go 38 and under, 39 and up? Todd?
I'm going to go 5 Bakhtiari's under. I think they're going to run the ball quite a bit more this year, especially down near the goal line. So I think they're going to take a few there. And 38's a damn big number.
I'm going with Todd, actually. I hate it, but I'm going 5 under.
5
All the
under?
reasons he said. Be more run heavy.
Okay. I mean, I keep it up there. 38 is what he got last year, I believe, or close to. I think he had 37 last year. Yeah, like I just can't see how they replicate that many touchdown passes without Devontae Adams in this offense anymore. Which means
Then pick a better number, Dan. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
All right, Aaron Jones. since running the ball is on the brain, over under 800 yards rushing this year. Last year had 799 rushing yards. Does he get at least one more yard than that, Todd?
I'm going to go 5 Bakhtiari's over on this one. I feel like I want to say under, but I also didn't realize he had that many yards last year. And
he broke 1,000 the 2 years before.
Yeah, and I feel like they kind of underutilized him quite a bit last year. Likely the last year that he's going to be around, given the way his contract kind of breaks out. So I could definitely see them leaning on him a bit more down the stretch.
Yeah, that's a good point. Jimmy?
Only kind of make.
God damn it. We got to take that out of our vocabulary.
I know. We got to stop saying that.
That and quick question. are two things you cannot say to Todd. This one's tough. I want to say over, but I think he's going to be used a lot in the pass game. Even if we see him and Dylan on the field at the same time, Aaron Jones would be more of a passing threat. I'm gonna say over, but I'm not as confident as Todd. I'm gonna go 4 Bakhtiaris.
You're gonna say 4 over?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's just like Jimmy said, it's tough because I think that he gets involved a lot more in the passing game this year. But I also do think they probably do a lot more with AJ Dillon and Amari Cooper and Randall Cobb getting thrown in there as well in the running game too.
When the fuck did we get Amari
Cooper? Jesus Christ, Amari Rodgers. So
Time
I'm going
to dry out, brother.
I'm going to go 4 Bakhtiaris under 800 rushing yards. All right, one last one real quick. Who's the leading receiver this year, Jimmy?
Oh, I'm going to go with Alan Lazard. Alan Lazard.
Okay, how many?
How many? What?
Is this your first fucking week doing the show, you dipshit?
Oh, sorry.
Jesus Christ.
5.
All right. Alan Lazard, 5 Bakhtiaris for Jimmy. Todd?
5 Bakhtiaris, Alan Lazard.
I'm
going to go Christian Watson.
God,
if it's the person you pick, so you just get 5 Bakhtiaris since we're all picking different.
Yes.
You know, then why the fuck did I have to say 5 Bakhtiaris?
No, you get 5 Bakhtiaris.
You get the number of Bakhtiaris.
The number of Bakhtiaris you bet. 5 Bakhtiaris. I'm going to say Romeo Doubs. There.
You're an idiot.
All right. We'll see you back next week, everybody. Same time and place. There. No, it's the Notebook. It's the Notebook from Superbad. It's Jonah Hill's Notebook from Superbad.
Oh yeah, there's a huge dick on here.
We'll be back next week, breaking down finally a real life Packer game next week on Lombardi's Bar. Same time, right here. Subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get notified every time we go live. Follow us at Lombardi's Bar, at Game On Wisconsin. Check us out over there as well because we'll retweet out that link to sign up for the Kenny Clark Sackathon this year and donate some money for Kenny Clark, for producer Nick back home, for Jimmy, for Todd, myself, for our guest Kenny Clark and Shanna Quinn. Thank you so much for joining us again. We'll see you next week. And go back. Go. I wasn't ready to do the outro.
End the fucking show, Dan.
Now we go.